Welcome to NS9BETS, a special NS9BETS, one of 6 special NS9BETS to come to you for the rest of the month. It's college football bowl season. Tyler and I are going to go through every single game, every single matchup. We're going to do our best, which is mediocre at best, to give you the info that you probably don't need for the game.
Exactly. This is the bowl season extravaganza.
It's going to be extravagant, and I'm super excited for it to just go up in flames.
Oh, we're gonna do so poorly.
I love it. All right, we got good attitudes today.
This is my last hurrah before literally going bankrupt.
Right.
Because it'll be in Ohio.
Right.
So right now I am still pretty careful.
You're still sitting pretty. You're being careful. You're staying under the radar.
Once it goes live in Ohio, it's game over.
Once we get to the New Year's Six bowls,
it's game over.
Tyler's filing for bankruptcy.
Yep. These might be the last 6 episodes you have of me in this house.
Well, hey, bowl season's one of my favorite seasons of the year. You know, you get a lot of matchups that we've never seen before in bowls that sound ridiculous. And it's just a lot of fun. Some of these games, it's like, oh, like this is a big deal. Some of these games, it's like, we're just here to have a good time. Like the Bahamas Bowl. Like, that's what we're starting out with. And it's like, these kids just get to go to the Bahamas for like 2 weeks.
At this point,
they don't care about playing the football game.
Yeah, these kids are pretty much just hoping to get a bowl game in a warm city.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's like, boo-hoo. Sorry, Cincinnati and Louisville. You got to go up to fucking Boston.
Yeah. It's like,
and you got to be on the same sideline. I can't wait for the Fenway Bowl. Jim gets to go to the Fenway Bowl. Perks of being a Louisville alum. There's not many, but that's one.
I'm guessing Jim was really hoping that they would. He like these kids. He was be in a warm weather bowl.
He really wanted to go to the Bahamas.
If I don't know if there's a bowl game in Nashville off the top of my head. He really wishes there was a bowl.
Right, just
would have been playing in Nashville.
Drive an hour or two down to Nashville and go out on Broadway. He wouldn't even go to the game. He'd just go out on Broadway.
Probably.
All right. Well, we already mentioned it. We're going to get into our first game here. We got the Bahamas Bowl. I don't remember who it's sponsored by. I don't really care because no free ads. But we got Miami of Ohio versus UAB. I did a little bit of research on every single game for us, Tyler.
Perfect.
And I'm going to get into it with this
Give me the
intro.
love.
All right. Miami of Ohio is 6-6. They're 5-7 against the spread on the season versus UAB, who is also 6-6. But a worse. What?
And they're 4-8 against the spread?
Yeah, they're 4-8 against the
Look
spread.
at this. I did some research as well, baby.
Look at you. Now, we have no previous matchups with these teams, which kind of sucks, but it's also exciting. And then all-time records in bowl games. Miami of Ohio is 8-5 in bowl games. UAB is 2-3 in bowl games. No national titles for either. So, with that being said, let's get into it. I think I'm going to have to go with Miami of Ohio. I have a little history with Miami of Ohio. Very small connection for me to Miami of Ohio. It's where my fraternity was founded, as well as like 20 other fraternities. But it's my little Miami of Ohio connection, and that's why I'm taking Miami of Ohio plus 11 against UAB.
So I am also on Miami of Ohio here, but for a different reason. I am on them because
you're Miami or you're Ohio scum.
No. Also, Big Ben from Miami of Ohio gave me a lot of good memories, but I am going Miami, Ohio here because UAB, this is their last game with their interim coach before Trent Dilfer does take over. A lot of internal issues for these players wanting the interim to become the head coach. Maybe that causes a bit of distraction here. Also, 11 in a bowl game.
Is that interim? Is there any news on if the interim's going to stay on the staff?
I don't know if he's staying on staff, but he is coaching this game. But just that little tidbit right there.
That would make me think they want to play harder.
I was thinking the same thing as well, but with it being his last game, it might just be a piss off everyone.
Right. He might call a terrible game.
That's where I'm going with it.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely don't think they cover 11 points. I mean, anytime you play a action team, you better be ready for the action. You know, anything could happen here.
Yeah. This is one of those bowl games that's just kind of yucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's Friday at 11:30 a.m. on
It's going to give me
16th.
something to do.
You still got Friday. A week and a half until Christmas. Like, nobody's paying attention to this bowl game.
Yeah. I'm taking Miami of Ohio here just because of all the friction going on in the UAB program.
Right.
Now, I could very well look back and the interim head coach coaches his dick off, and I don't even know the guy's name off the top of my head. Can't think of his name.
Who cares? Coaches for UAB.
But what I could, if it's me and I'm on that team, I can only look at it as myself.
Right.
And they're getting rid of my guy and bringing in some dude that's never coached at college level. Piss off. I'm not trying. I'm just going to go to the Bahamas, enjoy my time. Who cares?
That's the other thing. You got to think about the environment. They're in an environment where it's like, fuck it. Like, this is your last hurrah. Let's just go have fun. We're going to show up to the game hungover.
Absolutely.
Like,
you think if you are a senior on either one of these teams and you know you're not going to the league.
Right.
Am I going to go out there and play my dick off one more game?
I'm getting smacked.
No. I'm going to drink so much tonight.
Hell, I used to get smacked just to play JV D3 football. I would get so hammered the night before. I did not care.
I would get so drunk that I would be cramping up in the first quarter.
Right. As it should be.
That's the only way to do it here. You're in the Bahamas. You're playing Miami of Ohio. It's 11:30 on a Friday. God only knows what time it is there.
Like, you're literally just wanting to get the game over with so you can go back out and, like, go to the beach or something.
Yeah. You've probably been hanging out with these dudes the entire week.
Right. You're like,
you're playing
get out of here. Like,
who cares? Tight game just because.
All right. We got our next game. We got the Cure Bowl. Got to find a cure. UTSA versus Troy. UTSA and Troy are both 11-2. UTSA is 7-6 against the spread. Troy is 10-3 against the spread, which I like. There's no previous matchup between the two. UTSA in bowl games is a big 0-3, while Troy is 5-3. Troy knows how to step up when the lights get big and bright.
Yeah, Troy's not a bad football team.
They're not. They play what? They play the Sun Belt, right?
Sounds about right.
I'll say their Sun Belt team. Sun Belt. I love the Sun Belt. Big Sun Belt
You mean the Fun Belt?
Fun Belt. Sun Belt, Fun Belt. I don't know, though. UTSA has been hyped up by a lot of people for the last year and a half, I think.
So UTSA is being hyped up because of Frank Harris, their quarterback, who is coming back for his 7th season next year.
A 7th?
His 7th season at UTSA next year.
You know, this is off topic.
This is a weird time in college football.
Yeah. Like, these kids that are able to stay in college football like the 7 seasons, and it just happens to be when the NIL deals are allowed. Like, you're so much smarter staying in college football for as long as you can,
especially
than going to the league.
Especially if you're like just a very good player at a UTSA.
Right. Like, you're not playing any important games.
You're going to make more in college next year than you would going undrafted in the league.
Right.
So I'm going with UTSA mainly because of the quarterback, Frank Harris. He lit it up this year.
Right.
Troy's been vulnerable to get lit up. They just faced Grayson McCall from Coastal. Love that dude.
Love Grayson McCall.
He's a stud.
He's gonna be a boy.
Troy did put it on him a little bit, but Grayson McCall did.
He's a senior this year?
Yeah.
He's not going to the league, but
he probably still has like 2 more years of eligibility.
Probably. I think he should go to the XFL.
I don't know. He could get drafted like a Bailey
I
Zappi
think,
type of deal.
like, I think he is that caliber, like a Bailey Zappi caliber, but I want the XFL to be exciting.
That's fair. But I'm going UTSA here just mainly because of quarterback play.
Right.
And if the guy's coming back for another year, that excites me a little more. I'm going to ride with them here.
So
I would probably just go money line with that one.
On UTSA?
I'm going to go. My official pick will be money line UTSA because 1.5. What's the point?
All right. I kind of like that. UTSA's offense is pretty good. The place where they lack the most is in total points scored. They're 101st in the country, which whatever. But they're 8th and 3rd down conversions, 4th and 1st downs. They don't let up a lot of sacks. They're 12th in passing yards, which is big. I think, but Troy's defense is all right too. But it's a bowl game, it's a big spot. I like the over 54.5. I like a lot of points in this game.
That's a good pick.
I also think I tail you with the money line.
Love it. Love it. I think I might actually tail you as well with the over.
I feel like the over is a good call here.
I do like that over pick. This is definitely one of those games that could be over it could hit the over in the first half.
Right. The only other thing you got to think about those flip flops. So, like I said, UTSA has a good offense. Troy has a decent defense. UTSA's defense is garbage. And so is Troy's offense. So it's like, what's going to happen with that matchup? But I like the over 54.5, especially in a bowl game with, like you said, a quarterback that can do the things he can do. I think it's a no-brainer to take the over here.
Let's go.
All right, let's move on.
I'm going to take both those bets, I believe, as of right now, as long as I have the money for it.
Let's move on to the game we've all been waiting for, the Fenway Bowl. All right, stats on the Fenway Bowl. We got familiar foes here.
The Jim Rosati Bowl.
The Jim Rosati Bowl. We got Cincy 9-3. They're 3-9 against the spread versus Louisville 7-5, 7-5 against the spread. Their all-time record facing each other, Cincy leads 33 wins to Louisville's 22 losses, and we have had a tie in this one. There's one tie. Louisville is on a 2-game winning streak in their last 2 meetings in 2012 and 2013. Cincy, in all-time bowl records, Cincy is 9-11, while Louisville is 12-11-1. So, with that said, we have a lot of details on this game.
There is a lot. This game. There is a lot of moving parts here.
Yeah.
So we've got Scott Satterfield, former Louisville head coach, up until about a week ago.
Yep.
Now it's Cincinnati. Cincinnati's head coach, Luke Fickell, now at Wisconsin. I don't quite know off the top of my head who. Oh, it's who's coaching Louisville is it Deion Branch?
I think so. I think you're right. It's Deion
Branch coaching Louisville in this game. Cincinnati's going to be coached by Kerry Combs, former Ohio State defensive coordinator. Also, Malik Cunningham skipping this game.
He is.
He is skipping this game.
So
with all that said, Kerry Combs knows how to motivate.
But also, you forgot a crucial detail. Both teams will be on the same sideline.
Maybe the most important.
I can't wait for tempers to flare.
Especially in this type of game.
Right. These teams know each other. They play each other frequently.
The proximity is
very close. Proximity. Literally and figuratively. Actually, both literally.
So, for this game, I'm riding with Kerry Combs. The guy knows how to get dudes. He knows how to get dudes to play with him. He's a terrible defense coordinator, but the guy's a master motivator. Won a lot of Ohio state champions as a high school football coach. I'm riding with my guy. He's staying on staff with Satterfield.
Mm-hmm.
So, unlike the UAB pick, These guys aren't going out there wanting Gary Combs to be their head coach.
No.
I think he gets his time to shine this game.
All
so
right.
I will probably go money line here. Just take it straight up at plus 100. I like Cincy in this one. Sorry, Jim. And I don't really get this line with Malik Cunningham not playing.
Right? It's kind of low. I really want to make a case for Louisville here. I think Louisville... I think these players are going to be like, I know what's his name isn't coaching Cincinnati.
Luke Fickell.
Oh, sorry. No, the guy that went from Louisville to Cincinnati. Scott Satterfield. He said he's removing himself from the game. He will not be coaching. I think Louisville is going to want to take it to him, even if he's not there. They're going to say, you left this program is on the rise. That is a bunch of guys that believed in you. You left us. We're going to show you what you left. I'm taking Louisville -1.
See, you're taking
that's what bowl games are all. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to the environment. It comes down to mindset. It comes down to skill. Not saying Louisville has more skill, but
and that's where I kind of fall off the Louisville train. Cincinnati's really not going to be missing anyone here. They're going to be missing Luke Fickell, but they're still rolling with a guy that's been with Cincinnati for a while. He left to go to the Titans, then he went to Ohio State, and then he went back to Cincinnati. So he's been around the program a long time. Louisville, I don't know if they have the horses without Cunningham.
I feel like whoever's going to play in Cunningham's place is going to say, I'm the reason we still have hope.
So we're just taking different methods here. You're going based on pure mentality.
Yep. Well, it's a bowl game. What else do you go off of?
But I am also slightly taking it based upon mentality because I think these dudes will ride and die for Kerry Coombs.
I mean, that's a good point. You make a good point.
So Cincinnati money line's my pick here. Also, just don't get the spread at all.
No, I don't get the spread whatsoever. I figured there would be a bigger spread in favor of Cincinnati.
Yeah, which actually probably scares me more than anything. Because if you just look at this, I would think that Cincinnati would be favored by maybe a touchdown without Cunningham.
Right. So, yeah, that's why I like Louisville -1. They come in, do their thing, and leave.
And it also appears that it opened up as Cincinnati as favorites. So, I don't know, man. Weird.
It's all based on the vibes, dude.
I guess.
All right, let's get to our next game. Sorry. Next game we got Florida, Oregon State. This is the Las Vegas Bowl. Another game where it's like, what are they actually doing? Going to play football or going to, But here's some stats. We got Florida this year. We're 6-6, a little disappointing. 7-5 against the spread. Oregon State 9-3 this season, 10-2 against the spread. No previous matchups between these two, which is pretty wild in my opinion. Florida in bowl games is 25-22, including 3 national titles. And then Oregon State is 9-7. So both teams know how to win in the big spot, but which one pulls it out this year? Florida, you mentioned before we got on, I think, that what's his name? Richardson?
Anthony Richardson will not be playing in this game. I believe there's another offensive lineman that's not playing for Florida.
Right.
Florida is down bad this year.
Florida's down bad, and they've been down bad all season. Like, I don't really – does Anthony Richardson just not have any more eligibility?
No, he's declaring for the draft.
But that's what I mean. It's like, does he have to declare for the draft, or could he come back? So that's why I don't get this. I don't get this whatsoever. he could have come back for another season, made that NIL money like we were talking about, build up his draft stock. Instead, he's not playing, and I don't get it.
So I think Anthony Richardson could end up being like an early second rounder because people are going to fall in love with the skill.
Right. He has the tangibles.
Very much so. Jack Miller, another former Buckeye, will be playing for Florida. I've watched a good bit of Jack Miller in my life. I'm taking Oregon State.
Yeah, I mean, I like Oregon State here too, minus 10.5. They what conference are they in? Are they in the Pac-12?
They're in the Pac.
Oh, I'm thinking of Oklahoma State. Sorry.
Yeah. Same colors.
Still 9-3 in Pac-12. It was a really big conference this year. I feel like they ate each other alive. But I think Pac-12 is going to beat the SEC in this matchup by more than 11 points.
Yeah, and apparently the public really thinks with us as well here.
Oh, really?
This line's already moved 3 points.
Well, that's kind of rough.
I would have loved this at 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5.
Maybe we get a little more wiggle closer to game time.
Yeah.
But I can't take Jack Miller with third here. The guy stinks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Oregon State's quarterback's been pretty good this year.
He has, and Jack Miller's essentially the only quarterback on Florida right now.
Yeah, like so if he goes down, what do you got?
Really nothing. John getting his son big bit of trouble. Richardson goes to the draft. There's really not much left.
Right. All right. Well, I think this was an easy one for us.
Is this the first favorite I've taken?
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember if I don't remember who. No, maybe. I don't know. I think it is.
All right. Well, we're moving on. We got next. It is the Lending Tree Bowl. Get it up here for us. Lending Tree Bowl is Washington State versus Fresno State. Washington State 7-4 this year. Fresno State 9-4. WSU against the spread. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong game. 8-4 against the spread. Fresno State is 6-7 against the spread. All-time record between these two. Washington State holds the lead 3-1. Washington State's on a 2-game winning streak. The last meeting was in 1994. So that doesn't really matter. Washington State in bowl games, they are 8-9, while Fresno State is 13-13.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to like in this one in general.
I didn't watch any of either of these two games.
Washington State's always playing. Washington State's playing real late most of the time.
Right.
Like and there's usually a lot better games on at that hour.
Right.
So
Fresno State, I feel like people talked up Fresno State at the beginning of the year, and then they didn't pan out how everybody thought.
Yeah, this one's just kind of gross.
Yeah, it's really gross.
Probably.
But I do like the over. No, never mind.
Fresno State doesn't really do anything well, but neither does Washington State.
Right.
Right.
I like the over.
Yeah, I'll probably go Fresno State for no reason other than just
they just look like the better team.
I mean, they're 9-4, I guess, and just full disclosure, this is one game I probably will not bet on.
Right.
I don't have
these early bowl season games. These early bowl season games are tough to talk about, tough to bet on.
Hard to find an edge either way here.
Right, exactly. So that's why I like just taking the total here over 54.5. That was a quick and easy one.
I mean, Fresno State's quarterback's okay, I guess.
I think that's who everybody's talking about at the beginning of the season.
Jake Hayner, he's okay. Like he's had a decent year.
He's Speaking of
put up.
matchups that we hate, Lending Tree Bowl, Rice versus Southern Miss University. Fucking
Yeah.
Rice made it in with a 5-7 record. They made it to a bowl game with a 5-7 record, but they're 7-5 against the spread. This is the Lending Tree Bowl, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Southern Miss is 6-6, but they're 9-3 against the spread this season. All-time record between the two is tied. This is the tiebreaker between Rice and Southern Miss. Rice holds a 2-game winning streak. I did not put their last matchup on my notes, but in all-time bowl games, Rice is 7-5. Southern Miss has only won one bowl game out of the 14 they've played.
Did you say Southern Miss is what, 9-3 against the spread this year?
Yes.
Well, Rice does not do one thing well, and that is stop one.
Play football.
That as well. And you know who is running around to the backfield at Southern Miss?
Oh, that's Frank Gore's son.
It's Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah, I forgot
it's Southern
all about
Miss
that.
all day, baby. Frank Gore Jr. had a 1,000-yard season, so Rice does not stop the run.
Man, I really wanted to make a case for Rice here. The only case I can make is that they own Southern Miss, kind of. Not really. It's 6-6.
One of my favorite ways to go about betting is finding a team that can't stop the run and finding a team that can run the hell out of football.
This is a sweet spot for you.
This is that game.
All right. Let me ride the back of Frank Gore's son to a dub here. I'll take them on the spread -6.5. That was easy.
Look at us.
Look at us. Who'd have thought? All right, next bowl game. This is a bigger one. Got the New Mexico Bowl, SMU versus BYU. Two religious schools going after it like the crusade to see which religion trumps all. All right, SMU 7-5 on the season. BYU also 7-5. SMU 5-7 against the spread. BYU 4-8 against the spread. All-time record, BYU owns SMU 3-0. Their last meeting, though, was in 1997. All-time bowl records. We got two teams that have won national championships. SMU 7-9-1 in bowl games with 3 national titles. BYU 16-22-1 with 1 national title. So, that being said, I don't really know what to do here because I don't know who's playing and who's not. I do know players that play for BYU, but the question is, are they playing is the question.
That's a good question. I'm trying to look into that as we speak here.
I think I like the over. The over is 64.5. I feel like neither of these teams are known for their defense.
Yeah, SMU gives up to around over 200 rushing yards per game. BYU is not a fan of throwing the football.
No, which is unfortunate.
Weird.
It's unfortunate.
And it's weird.
Right.
But they do. Guess what they do, Cody? They run the hell out of the football.
They run the hell out of the football.
So give me BYU plus, what is it, 5.5?
Yeah, plus 5.5.
Yeah.
I'm taking the over 64.5. I probably also tell you on the plus 5.5.
I might even go money line here.
But I like the over here because SMU can score, and I think with the logic you just said with the run game, BYU is going to be able to score as well.
Yeah, I love teams that can run the football, man. I love it. It's real football, not this crappy spread shit.
Oh my God. You're such a boomer.
I'm sorry, but we're getting back to that point in football where teams actually that can run it. We're going full circle. We've gone from the spread. Well, before the spread, we had the air raid, then we have the spread, and we're going all the way back to you got to be able to run the ball and play grown man football to win. I mean, the top 2 teams in the nation right now, that's all they do.
Right.
They pound
You're not
your
wrong.
teeth in.
You're not wrong. All right, let's move on to I think it's our last game. Yeah, this is the last game for the first episode.
Look at us.
We went through this pretty quickly.
Look at us.
We got the Frisco Bowl between North Texas and Boise State. North Texas 7-6 on the season, 7-6 against the spread. Boise State 9-4 on the season. They are 6-6-1 against the spread. All-time record is tied 3-all, so 6 games total. Boise State's on a 1-game winning streak. Last meeting in 2000. All-time bowl records. North Texas is 2-10 in bowl games. Boise State is 12-7. What do you think?
I think this one's gross.
Yeah, North Texas's coach got fired, I believe, or let go, whatever you want to say. And he has, from what I understand, he's brought this program out of the dirt. And they're like, no, we don't want you. So there's a little skepticism going on that maybe he was doing something illegal. Boise State, though, they still playing. No, they play in the Mountain West. I was about to say the WAC. I was like, no, it doesn't sound right. But they play in the Mountain West. It's an okay conference, right?
I guess. I mean,
nothing special.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I just got to go Boise State here because they're a better program.
Right.
Boise State's just kind of one of them program. I'm just taking the program here.
Right.
I know next to nothing about North Texas other than they were fun to bet on a few years ago because they'd pick up a few wins that
we got
really dogs in.
We got a pretty good offense versus a pretty good defense here. North Texas's offense in the top 50 in almost every category except for turnovers. They're 89th in turnovers. And then looking at the other side, Boise State's defense is in the top 65 in every category. They're second in giving up first downs. Or, I mean, you know what I mean, stopping the team on first down. They're fourth in giving up passing yards. They're eighth in yards per play.
Also, North Texas quarterback is 29 years old.
So he's been around the block.
He's played some football in his day.
Right. So I am taking my first under of the college bowl season. I like under 56.5. I feel like it's good. I feel like this is going to look like an action game. I feel like you're going to have an odd turnover or 3 happen. And yeah, I just think it's not going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it's a Saturday game, a 9:15 game. Just not.
I'm going to watch. I'm excited to watch. I just don't think it's going to be it's not going to meet my expectation.
Yeah, not sure I'll tune into this one. Right now, just give me Boise State minus 10.5. I don't. Like I said, I'm taking this based upon the program and program alone.
Right. Yeah, I like the under 56.5. I feel like we might have a lot of turnovers in this game. So we will see what happens. That was our last game of episode 1. Episode 2, I have it written down. Episode 2 will be released December 18th. What day of the week is that? That's a Sunday. Next episode will be out on Sunday. That will feature the Myrtle Beach Bowl, the Idaho Potato Bowl, the Boca Raton Bowl, New Orleans Bowl, the Armed Forces Bowl, Independence Bowl, and the Gasparilla Bowl. Are you excited?
You know what? We're going to get closer to some better bowl games. Although there are some interesting matchups here. There's some interesting matchups here.
Right. We got some decent matchups. Like today, best matchup, obviously, was Cincy Louisville. But coming up, Marshall, UConn.
Even UTSA and Troy, two
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we got Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State coming up. Liberty versus Toledo.
That one's interesting.
It is going to be interesting. But anyway, we'll talk about those on Sunday the 18th. But we're glad that you joined us for this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell DiNardo he's ugly for us. That'd be nice.
It's always a good thing to do.
It would put a smile on Tyler's face. That's for sure.
Sure would.
All right. Thanks for joining us, folks, and we will see you next time.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.